La 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 la. La 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 la.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Daria and I'm from Romania.
And then Eleftherium from Greece.
Hello, so welcome to a new edition of What's Up EU. We are going to be your hosts tonight. So, Ele, what's up with you?
What's up? Hey, you, Daria. Same again, same joke.
Same joke.
Chris. So, What's Up EU is our live online meetings that we discuss about different things about the European Union, about Europe, the values, and what it offers to us for free. Most of all. So, what's today's topic?
All right. So today's topic is going to be soft skills. But before going into all the good stuff, let's go ahead and actually introduce our guest for tonight. First of all, we have someone from my motherland, let's say from Romania. We have Sebastian Popa. He's currently studying criminology and forensic studies in England. Hello, Sebastian. How are you tonight?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for joining us. Next up, we have Francisco Santos. He is from Portugal. He studied psychology, currently taking a master in clinical and experimental neuropsychology. Hi, Francisco. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for that introduction. It was amazing.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for your input on the topic. And last but not least, we have Jacob from Poland. He's a programmer and video editor. Hello, Jacob.
Hello. I noticed I have mess in my background. Don't mind that. Don't see that.
No worries. Welcome to the club. For joining us tonight. All right. So before actually going into the questions that we prepared for our guests, for our viewers at home that don't know what soft skills are, I will like to give a small introduction into the topic. Basically, soft skills are referring to everything that are non-technical skills, but without which we can basically work properly. They are helping us to interact with our colleagues, to organize our time, to organize our work, to solve problems. And they are considered to be the opposite of hard skills, which are the technical ones, like, programming in Jacob's case. So going with the first question, we will start with Sebastian. Sebastian, in your opinion and experience, why are soft skills so important, or why are the employers looking for them so much, according to studies?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, thank you, Daria. So, why soft skills are so important? I guess so. If I were to compare them with hard skills, I think they are more important than hard skills because they reveal something more important and more personal than the hard skills can do, actually. Because what they actually do and say about that person is that person's virtues and that person's mindset. Something that you as an employer would like to see. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Sebastian.
And
Francisco.
question, you asked something about
I'm sorry? All right.
No, that's okay. That's good.
Okay. Thank you. Francisco, in your opinion, why are the soft skills so important? And again, why are the employers looking for them in a job interview, let's say?
So as you were explaining, and you explained really well, the soft skills are different from the hard skills that show a more academic progress that you had, and soft skills show you a little bit of your experience background. I would say this because you were integrated in different contexts. You learn doing different things. You receive feedback, and you kind of build yourself. So as Sebastian was saying too, it shows like this, like as we are as a person, some our qualities, and that's really important in a world that it's getting more and more personal and getting more having more value to these relations between persons, and employers are looking for them because nowadays it's easy to get these courses and get the hard skills and be involved with academic context, but these like not, I would not say special powers. Everyone doesn't need to have them, but they are different, and employers are looking for these to bring it to the company and like having better results with them. But I see that soft skills aren't just like, we don't need just talk about employers. Like for us, it's really like rewarding too.
Mhm. Thank you very much, Francisco, for that answer. Jacob, what do you think? In your opinion, what makes soft skills so special? Why are they so important to people?
Well, I think they're important because you can use them in everyday life. When you talk with somebody, I feel like the important part of soft skills is influence. That you can influence others like a bit and not get influenced. When somebody wants to, get a bit on their thing, get you to do something, when is the limit, when is the influencing things. And it's incredibly important, the soft skills, because I think you can learn hard skills like in a week, 2 week, but soft skills are not that easy to get to. So you have to be gradual and stuff. And also, I think that soft skills include being a bit medial. Being in front of media. When you have like a company, when you're on an interview, you have to know how to look right, know what to say, how to move, where to look, and not to be stressed. And it's something we can do like every day. Also in work life, we can communicate with others, communicate with our bosses, solve issues and stuff like this.
Yeah. You actually went a little bit ahead of the question.
Sorry.
No worries.
Too much
It was
knowledge.
great. Superior intelligence right here. I was thinking actually about this, about why, because recent studies are showing that employers are actually looking in their candidates, they're looking into the soft skills more than into the hard skills. And I was thinking, like, why are they so important? Because the average person in the world is changing like 5 or 6 jobs in in his or her lifetime. And okay, you can learn the hard skills specifically for each different job, but actually what's special about the soft skills is that you can use them in any job. Like the same soft skills, you can use them in all 6 different jobs. And I think that's great. I think that's great. You learn once and you practice every day. That's it, right, Ella?
How much was the average? 5 to 6 jobs.
5 to 6 jobs, yes.
Expect if you are Greek. Maybe 0.
Maybe 0.
But also the employees, they don't want a robot. They want a person that has humor to speak with the customers.
True.
Also to be available to speak with the customers. To make them feel like home, for example, in a restaurant, to make them feel nice and warm inside the restaurant, not inside the oven, in the restaurant.
And especially because like nowadays, more than ever before, the jobs shifted to this personal touch, to customer service a lot in all industries. They all have customer reps, let's say. And it's that skill of getting in touch with people and representing the company and the job very well. And as you guys said, presenting yourself or selling yourself. Going to the next questions, we know that, as you actually said before, the hard skills can be learned through courses in through 3 weeks, right? But how does one learn soft skills? Do you have like any opinions with this? How can someone learn soft skills?
Well, I think It was a question for me, I hope. So first thing is to start small, but start at all. Like I think in any basically thing you do, just starting is very important. Not like planning and something, because planning gives us a feeling that we did something when we actually didn't do anything. Like basically, it is important, but we haven't actually done anything. So start small. First of all, read a book, and there's a lot of good books about this. If you know somebody that is good, you can feel the charisma from him, the character. Go and ask him about how he does it and stuff like this. And for me, the Erasmus Plus projects were a really good thing to start. I went out and I went in front of people that I will probably never see again, so I don't worry about it. But the thing is that I looked on others, how they were speaking, and I saw so many problems that people were not looking in their eyes, speaking cold, slow, quiet. And I learned from other mistakes. I not do that, and I speak to people, and I see others listening to me. And when I speak, and it's quiet in the room, and it's so amazing, such amazing feeling. So I think practice when you have the chance. When you're like in a school or something, and there's like you can go in front of people, and then I would go, why not? You only live once, right? So seize the opportunity that you have.
Right. Thank you very much, Jacob. And talking about people you meet in Erasmus exchanges and you don't meet again, excuse me. Me and Jacob actually met in two Erasmus projects, and we're really good friends.
Okay. Just friends.
I have a different opinion on that.
Okay.
Okay, so Sebastian, what do you think about this? How can one learn soft skills?
So I guess before answering the question, I would like to go back to what Jacob said, because I think he said something really important, and I would like to highlight that. He said that in terms of soft skills, it takes a lot of time to learn them in comparison to hard skills. Hard skills may take 3-4 years-ish, something like this. When it comes to soft skills, they take a lifetime because, as I said, they reveal something more intimate about that person. They reveal the fact that they reveal how that person is thinking. They're revealing their mindset as well. So when it comes to virtuous mindset and all that kind of stuff, it takes a while, to build a person that you are now. So that's why I think it's quite important. And now answering your question, I guess it's before actually doing that. I guess it's also important to define what we understand by soft skills and hard skills. Because soft skills may have like a negative connotation, soft, like not that good, like hard skills, like really tough. You're really a tough guy if you have tough girl, tough guy if you have hard skills. Soft skills are also like defined as transferable skills. The fact they're really flexible. And when it comes to soft skills, it's about, in my opinion, it's more about that person rather than yourself. Because let's say, for example, communication, leadership, and teamworking skills. Communication. I communicate with someone because I want to solve the conflict, not because I'm the greatest man on earth and everything is, going around myself and I'm the center of the world, because I'm interested in that person. When it comes to leadership skills, I'm interested in that person's development. When it comes to teamworking skills, I'm willing to accept the fact that I don't have all the good ideas, and someone maybe has better ideas than I do have, and that's often the case. So soft skills are concentrated on others rather than on yourself. So in order to get them, you need to be selfless. At least that's what I understand. You need to give yourself up a little bit, When it comes to hard skills, then that's about your knowledge. That's about yourself. But hard skills, it's more focused on the relationship between you and those persons, those individuals. So short answer in order to achieve acquired soft skills. Be selfless.
Wow. I have to admit, I've never thought about it that way. I mean, of course, like I know the textbook definitions of soft skills and I try to practice them in my everyday life, but I never thought about like me being selfless would help me develop these kind of qualities, and I think it's a really nice idea to implement.
True.
Francisco, what do you think about this? So how can one learn the soft skills?
Well, so we are having such good interventions that I don't know what I can add to this, but we all have our learning process. So we don't need to be all in the same level at the same time. So that is so individually. So I want to tell to everyone that is listening us that nowadays, and I know I'm getting out of the question, but I think this is important to say that we compare a lot with other people. He's better communicator than me, but we are in different learning processes. So maybe for one person, he already had a lot of contacts when he was facing like challenges in communication. So he got more feedback, he got more experience on it. If we don't have it, for example, and I want to train my communication, I want to get in touch with contexts where I can train it. So for example, we can do volunteer work, we can do in the Erasmus Plus, the training courses, the youth exchanges. And if you don't know, you can search about it, because there are a lot of projects that you can apply. And I always think that the worst scenario is a no. So it's a no for that option, and I will have 100 more. And it's so important for us to don't get used to the things that we are doing, because there are a lot of doors that we can try to open, and some of them will develop our soft skills. And it's just not to get used to what we are doing. So basically is this, like, we are the owners of our own actions, we are responsible for it, and like, I think that's the magic of everything.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Francisco. It's true what you're saying, like don't settle for what you're doing now. I would even like go further and complete that and be like, don't settle for who you are right now, because a lot of young people unfortunately are like giving us an excuse for their actions, be like, well, this is who I am. I'm a like they put their zodiac sign in front and be like, well, this is who I am.
But the zodiac is serious.
No, but and they, by having this mindset, they refuse to change because they think who they are, it's acceptable, and it's applicable for the entirety of their life. And as Francisco said, don't settle for that. Don't settle for what you're doing currently. Don't settle for who you are currently. Dare to change and to develop, because it's good. You're learning about yourself. You're learning about the world around yourself. And like someone was saying, like if at 40 years old you're thinking the same things as you were in your 20s, you did something wrong.
Yes.
You stopped at some point. So I was actually thinking, because we discussed earlier about how employers are looking for these qualities. But usually when writing a CV, you put in there like how good you are in languages, what kind of programming you know, like the hard skills. How can someone that goes in an interview, into a job interview, can showcase their soft skills? What are some ways through which young people can do this?
And by the way, I want to add something.
Oh, of course.
For the soft skills, you can also find a YouTube tutorial. Honestly, if you search on YouTube tutorial how to soft skills, they are going to appear you a lot. I didn't know that I had soft skills. I learned it today. Thank you, Daria, for this and European Union.
Honestly, these days you can learn anything from YouTube and it's free. Well, unless you're paying for the premium without commercials, but that's another story.
But also with Erasmus, as the guy said, I think is the best thing that you can do to learn soft skills, hard skills, everything that has skills inside. Medium, I don't know, medium rare. But with Erasmus you can learn everything, honestly. So
That's true.
no, sorry for the interruption.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so for the next the question, as I mentioned, how can someone showcase their soft skills into a job interview or into their resume? Jacob, would you like to start?
About the interview. Okay. I think it's much more easy to show your skills on an interview than in resume, because you can write, oh, everybody follows me, always do what I want. It's not a proof. When I have a CV and I don't have anything else to put in, then I just put in some soft skills, because it's like, how they're gonna check. So to show the soft skills, I think it's some basic things and some a bit more advanced. So the basic things is to be on time, to maintain eye contact, to have the proper handshake. There's a lot of things you can read on the internet, on YouTube, as he said. This guy get also sponsored. So yeah, be confident at the interview. Don't speak too fast. Don't speak too slow. And yeah, there's a couple of things you cannot say. Couldn't quite. There's one thing I would like to add, like a pro tip. At the end of the interview, there's usually a killer question. Do you have any question for us? And this is, at the interview, it's really looked upon when you do. Oh no, I don't have any questions. So two things that I usually say at the end of interviews. First is, what would you tell me to learn in the meantime? So now we could see, like, from the interviewer's perspective, how did you fare and what should you improve upon, if he would think, in a company like this or something. So this is one thing to ask. What do you think I should learn in the meantime? And the other thing would be, how would your perfect candidate be like? Can you describe your perfect candidate? So this also, you basically get in the shoes of the interviewer and feel, how should the guy be? What should he respond? Should we be this or should we be that? There's a lot of things that you can learn at the interview, besides actually being at the interview and getting more familiar with it and with the people that are there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacob, for the pro tips. I actually, that's really helpful. I didn't know about them, so I'm learning something today. Sebastian, what about you? How can one showcase their soft skills in a resume or a job interview? Or how do you do it?
Yeah, great. How do I do? Yeah. Personal question. Yeah, that's really good. In terms of what Jacob said. Oh, what happened? Is it just us?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's continue. Let's continue then.
It's even better.
Should we go on?
Of course.
Yeah. So yeah, I quite like your point, Jacob.
Sorry guys, technical issue.
Welcome back.
For a few seconds, we're back. We are back and better than ever. All right.
Yeah.
So then, Sebastian, we missed a little bit of your answer.
Yeah, that's good, because I haven't started actually answering. Yeah. So I was just saying the fact that yeah, those questions, like at the end, those questions, like, do you have any questions or something like this at the end of the interview? They tend to pop up from time to time, and what they actually are trying to see is whether you were really interested in their company, in their organization, or everything like this. So let's say you wanna apply for a police job, as like a police officer, becoming a police officer. That police force would like you to actually get informed before applying for the job, because they will ask you questions that they've already displayed on their website. So it's like, what do you want to be involved with this organization, whatsoever? I mean, why? And then you have to use the information that you found on their website, and that shows the fact that you are actually interested. And it's not like, yeah, I'm applying everywhere I can, and if someone accepts me, that fair enough, that'll be really nice. So when those kind of questions pop up, it's really good to actually get informed and to get prepared for them. In terms of how you can showcase your soft skills or whatever, um, I'll, so I'll share something with you. It's called it's an acronym. It's called STAR, and it stands for S stands for situation, um, T stands for task, A stands for action, and then R stands for result. So when they're actually asking you to your soft skills, let's say communication. Give me an example of a moment when you've shown like really good communication. This might be one of the questions. Then what you'll try to do, and what you could try and say, is identify the situation, identify what you were asked to do, how you acted, and then what were the results. And this is like a really comprehensive answer. And that's what they are pretty much looking for, at least in the criminal justice system here in the UK. They are looking for these kind of answers.
Sorry, I was muted. So basically, so you basically gave us a whole strategy about how to give a comprehensive answer. That could fall into, I think, like critical thinking, maybe as a soft skill. I think it goes there in order to like assess a situation and like prepare your answer like in your mind to be like very prompt with it. Francisco, what about you? How can one showcase their soft skills?
So to be honest, I never had like a job interview yet. But I had the interview for the master, and in that interview, I really had to show like my motivation, like specifically the aims of doing that master. I need to show it like and like show curiosity about what I'm about to study, ask about what should I do until I ingress the master. And this I'm taking the Jacob words, because that's really like crucial, because the other people will understand that, yeah, here's someone that like is really into in what we are expecting to have like with us. And like that's the best feeling ever, I think. And talking more about the CV, because we talked more about the interview before. We have like a space where we can, for example, write soft skills, and for example, so like flexible. I'm really flexible, I'm really enthusiastic, I like good communication. But better than that, we can have in our experience field, for example, where you have, for example, the master that you did, the degree, you can add some experience. And that experience, for example, doing Erasmus, doing volunteer, participate as someone that went to talk, for example, in a TEDx or in a conference, that will show like evidence of your soft skills. For example, the teamwork, leadership skills if you were a coordinator of something, flexibility if you have a different type of experience in your CV. Like that is perfect, and that is how you can show your soft skills in your curriculum.
That's amazing. Yeah, that let's say, chapter about the soft skill, it is indeed included in a resume, in a CV. And also something that a lot of young people miss out when they are filling in their resume is the hobbies. No one is actually writing their hobbies, even though they're very like nice to look at, because they showcase, right, a lot of attributes that you might have. Like, for example, let's say one of my biggest hobbies is to like go hiking. Well, that shows that I'm taking risk. I'm an adventurous person. I'm maybe courageous, right? Or maybe my hobby is to sing. That means like I'm creative, or painting, or and it's very important to show this personal touch to the employer, because we are humans after all. We have this human touch, we have this personal touch, the soft touch, let's say. And I think it's important. You mentioned something about some soft skills, Francisco, regarding the communication. In your opinion, what is good communication? Because that's an interesting topic. Like, a lot of people are talking about this nowadays.
Yeah, good question. Like, really straightforward answer. Good communication is, for example, what you are doing right now. Like, you have such a clear dictation of the words. You put some feeling on it. Like, we want to hear you more. Like, I could just stay here muted, just hearing you talking all this hour, and it's to express our idea like in simple words, because we don't get like, we don't want to hear for a long time some people trying to express some idea. So that being direct, being clear, simple. I think there are some really good advice to have a good communication. And like, you can train yourself your communication, but what I would advise is having someone hearing you and then giving some feedback. And with all this training, I think you can really reach a good communication. Yeah. So, but you are in a really like well positioned, Daria. Congratulations.
Thank you. You're making me more nervous than I have to be right now. um, Regarding what you said about like keep it simple, there is actually I think I took it from the Americans. They say that kissing is good. Kiss is good. That means keep it short and simple. So I really like that like acronym job there. Sebastian, what about you? In your opinion, what is a good communication? When do you know you're successful in a conversation?
Yeah, good question. When you know you've been successful in a conversation. Oh, okay. So, but I'll probably try to be more specific and concentrate on like difficult conversations, let's say, because those are like the hardest ones. So when it comes to difficult conversation, when you want to solve a problem, the focus should always be on the problem rather than on the person. That can happen in a company, that can happen in any sort of working environment. Let's say that you have a problem with your manager. Let's say you have a problem with another coworker. You shouldn't be like, you know what? I think you're really wrong, but I want to let you know that I'm ready to forgive you. By the way, that's not how you approach the situation. That's not what you should do, even though it might be true. Let's say that situation might be true. That person actually wronged you. But the communication should focus on the problem and saying something like, that thing that you said, that thing that you made me do, made me feel this way. And in this situation, the focus is rather on how that thing made you feel rather than on that person being wrong. And that's how I think it's a good way of approaching difficult conversation. And that's how I think that's how, I don't know, a successful communication should look like. Being focused on the problem rather than the person.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. That is a really nice idea regarding like focusing on the subject, on the topic, rather than on the person. It's something that I've learned while like learning debating. One of the rules was always attack the subject, not the person. Attack the idea, not the person. We don't want to make it personal. We don't want to destroy that person's entire personality. It's not okay. Jacob, what about you? What is for you a successful conversation? What do you view communication?
Well, to me, a successful conversation is after which the person likes me. I find that not that easy of a task, but being a successful conversation and a good talker is not always talking, and it's more listening. When somebody talks to you, maintaining eye contact and keeping their body, our body, focus on them, listening to them, to what they say, instead of giving advice, more like asking questions and stuff. Advice is really not good, and it's more a bit of a selfish way to trying to get a handle of the situation. So listening, and when I see that somebody speaks to me and trusts me, and says maybe a bit of a secret, then I feel that conversation was pretty successful. So almost for me, it's almost every day. It's no problem.
That is a good indicator. Actually, Ele, for you, what is a good conversation for you?
First of all, I have to say that I agree very too much with Jacob. The thing that he said before about the handshaking and all this stuff. Also, a very good smile is a very good thing to show to the employer.
Always be the first one to smile.
Even if you don't have teeth, you have to smile. I have to say. Also, if you make them laugh, it's like a very good sign that, okay, they have you. For example, when I was working in a restaurant last year, I remember when I went my CV to the owner, the chef, I told him, look, this is my CV. I know that it looks like the paper that we put for the dead people on the road, but this is my CV. And she laughed. So I knew already that she's going to choose me. And also this optimism that you have to show, even if it's not very real. Even if even your self-esteem is like -20, you have to show that you are very good. So the optimism is a very good thing of communication.
Yes, but that is true about the laughing. There are studies saying that we tend to remember more people that are funny, that are making us laugh. It's something that our bodies enjoy to do, and it's fun, it's a pleasant side there, and then we can go back to the personal side and to us not being robots.
And also it's very good for a job if you have a person that makes you laugh, not like a maniac, but to make you laugh on a very difficult situation, to see him and remind you of something and relax you is very nice. I never had someone like this. That's why I usually go to the mirror, see myself and laugh. So
oh no. But yeah, that is good as well, because the jobs can get very stressful, and it's good to have colleagues or to have these kind of skills to make your colleagues your friends, and try to bring up the place a little, to actually enjoy going there, not just like
not just to do it because you have to do it.
Yeah, and like hating every part of it. Like you actually have to learn how to make things enjoyable. And I think that is in our power as well, to control our behaviors, and through this to make others open to us, right? Because it's important, because it's like an exchange, right? Did you have any personal experience when like you opened first and the other person opened after?
Never. But I believe if I would, then that would be the case. Yeah, the action like forces a reaction, or not forces, but like makes you react. So when somebody tells you a secret, you feel like you have to give back. So I feel like that's a good strategy.
But not only, for example, if I'm nice to someone, how long until they will start acting nice to me back? Even though at the beginning, let's say they're awful. Like how long it would take, right?
I mean, I would leave that to the Francisco psychology master, but from what I can say, from what I read about the books, that there are signs, that people like you when they do the same things. Like the most important thing is when they do something and you start talking to them, they stop whatever they're doing and then just look at you and listen to you. This is like a very important, very simple, but also very important thing that that they value what you're saying, that they're interested and not just, blah, 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 get on with it or something. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you can tell, being nice to people, smiling, remembering the names is very important thing. People care about the names very much. So if you remember someone's name and then casually throw it, like, "Oh, thank you, Daria," or something, it's something personal that you remembered. For the given person, their own name is like the sweetest sound that they enjoy. So that is very important. But it's more like personal things into that you can remember others. It's hard for me. It's very hard. I always forget.
Yeah. For people like me as well, I have a terrible memory. It's such a trouble for me to remember names, things, anything in general. And for me, that's something that I'm still working on, remembering the names of the people I'm actually talking to.
We can see that. I'm pretty sure for Portugal, the short of the country is PT, not PR. And same as for Poland is PL, not PO. But it doesn't matter. We still like you.
Thank you, Jacob. Now we are lucky because you have your name written under your videos. That's why we remember. Francisco, what about you? What do you think?
So answering the question of how many time do we need to wait until someone is being nice for us when we are nice for them? Like that is not a specific answer. Please, it's not like so because it's very individually. So it's a relation is super different to other relation. Like a day is different from each day. So there's not something like a rule. But we are really talking about important things. We saw that communication is a really complex soft skill because we can see it if we are talking in a conference or if as was Sebastian saying, like the corporate context in a more like problem solving conversation, it will be different the way that we are communicating, and between a teamwork where we are kind of like, for example, in a company with our friends, communication will be different too. So there's not like a proper rule for communication. There are ways of communication to adapt to the context, and in here we can see another soft skill, that is the flexibility, to adapt to the context. And like nowadays, that's super important. Imagine this year was the year of adaptation, of the flexibility, changing our jobs from the physical places to our homes, like getting used to Zoom. For ones was easier, but for others was more difficult, and that's okay. Like here we are, but everyone achieved that. We can see that. And more, what we were talking more about this. Daria, help me.
No, that was no, we were talking about this thing like having the other person like mirroring you, basically. If you are practicing your soft skills, the other persons are going to kind of like automatically mirror you. But it was a very nice answer, especially because you brought up the 2020. Yeah, that's a really good example of everyone learning a little bit about soft skills without even knowing that they're doing it. So that was a really, really nice answer, Francisco. Thank you very much. Sebastian, what do you think about this kind of mirroring, about like mirroring the soft skills? Do you think it's possible? Did you experience it in any point of your life?
Oh, I had some problems with the mute button. Mirroring the soft skills. So in terms of, like, we were talking about communication, and you said something about how long do we need to wait before, or how long do we need to act nicely until a person realizes that we're actually nice to them. Yeah, as Francisco said, it's something that depends on, I mean, it's really it does really depend on person, because we are so different from each other. But I guess the right way to start this kind of conversation is by generally being interested in that person, interested in that, then you will make effort. And this is like the key word: make an effort to actually communicate with that person. If you're not making an effort, then that means you're not genuinely interested. You just want to gain something from them. So make the effort to create a conversation, even though it's difficult. If they come across as like ignoring you, they are, I don't know, checking their phone, they are checking their watch, they are doing all that kind of stuff. And maybe, I mean, this one is kind of rude, but what you can do is actually mirror their behavior. If they're checking their phone, check your phone as well, and they won't realize that. They'll realize that straight away. If they're not paying attention, try to speak louder, and then they'll be like, oh, wait a second. So you can also employ these kind of techniques to actually draw the attention. But yeah, at the end of the day, I guess it all boils down to being interested in that person.
Thank you very much, Sebastian, for your answer. Keep learning new things here. It's a really interesting conversation. Yes.
I just wanted to ask, to add to this that Sebastian said, even if someone is on the phone, as you said, and if you want to take their attention, you don't have to be at the phone, I think, at the same time, not the same time. You don't have to do the same. You have to do something that you didn't want him or her to do. For me, for example, I mean, you don't ignore or you don't do the same thing, but you're trying to do the thing that you like he to do or she to do to you. Oh my God, my English that's
do
destroyed.
to others what you would like to be done to you, something like that.
Exactly.
Oh,
Maths.
Okay. Yeah, I think something like among religion books, generally there is this thing to do to other people kind things, do things that you want to be done to you, something like that, right? Talking about, so we touched a few soft skills, and generally when talking about them, you notice that for the soft skills you need to practice a lot. You need to go out there, you need to talk, to actually be seen and to be heard, in order to showcase them. So it all starts from self-confidence, from confidence, right? So my question to you is, do you consider confidence or self-confidence as being a soft skill? And if yes, how can someone gain self-confidence? Because I hear a lot of people, be like, oh, I'm not good, or like, I don't think I am prepared enough, etc., which shows a lack of self-confidence. So what do you think about this?
Okay, so well, I guess that people who are not self-confident are not stressed enough that they don't want to go. So I think that, well, first of all, the thing to realize that everybody stresses. It's a good trick that to realize that everyone can see that we are stressed, which makes us less stressed somehow. That's psychology for you. There are very few people that are born, just ready to go on stage in front of 100 people, or just go inside the circle and talk about something. it is more for most of us. It's actually gained knowledge. So we have some strategies that we make to be less stressed. For example, when you should maintain eye contact with people when you're speaking to somebody. But if you feel that's too stressed, when you're more than 2 meters, you can look at the forehead, and they won't even notice if that stresses you too much. Being prepared a bit, or having some canned answer or something that will allow you to run away a bit is also good. Having something written on your hand, even if you won't use it, just having the mentality that you have something to use in this scenario just helps you so much. Just make sure when you speak in front of people and you have things on your hands, written. You don't now this and there's things written on your hands. That will not be a good thing, not very professional. So yeah, work on your confidence. I think you can start small. You can start trying talking to your friends and saying how they did it, looking at others and what kind of mistakes they make and how we can improve upon them. And then you just be, you think about you're gonna die someday anyway, so just go for it. Just go for it, man.
Thank you very much, Jacob. So Ella, just go for it.
Die.
No, for the confidence, of course. Francisco, what about you? What do you think about self-confidence? How can one achieve it or gain it?
So I was thinking, and I think I don't consider self-confidence a soft skill. For example, personally, I think that, for example, I don't have a lot of self-confidence, but that doesn't like don't wait, sorry, I was saying this in Portuguese. Oh my god. So, for example, I continue to do things even thinking that I am not having self-confidence. For example, humans are we are super genius and we can modify our own behavior. For example, if we are having a presentation in front of a lot of people and that's really stressful, we just think about it, we can build something to for example, as we were talking, like starting small, we can, in the first step, talk to a mirror. In the second step, talk to family, then with friends. Then, for example, we can go to the place where we are going to take do the presentation with no one seeing. And then we are trying to adapt to the place. And then we put their own people. And then we ask some friends to join. And it will be easier. And then we rock at the presentation. And that will be rewarding. It will be a positive rewarding that will kind of show that, okay, we can do it. And I think self-confidence, it is built about these positive feedbacks. And for example, do you remember I was so nervous in Romania doing that TEDx talk that we all needed to do? I was so stressful about it, and then I got to the presentation and I talked with the people that was trying to cheer me up and everything, and I trust in the person that were seeing the presentation, and at the end I just wanted to do it again. So it's all about these moments.
Yeah, and it was actually a very nice night. I remember
you don't even remember, Daria.
Yes, we were all crying at the end. Don't you remember when we were hugging each other and?
Yeah, I remember.
So it was a really nice night. What about you, Sebastian? What do you think? It's self-confidence a soft skill, and if so, how can one gain it?
Yeah. Right now I was thinking that you said something like the fact that you could hug each other, but that was long time ago, before COVID and everything. Yeah, that's not possible anymore. You can't do that anymore. Yeah, you said so I do agree with Francisco. I do agree that soft skills are not. Wait a second. Self-confidence is not a soft skill. So I do agree with that because I feel like, and in my opinion, I think that self-confidence stems from hard skills. Because you are really good at something, you have self-confidence. Because let's give an example. Because I, as uh, football captain, let's say, I've scored 10, 20 goals during the Champions League. I do have the self-confidence to carry on being the football captain because I've demonstrated to myself that I can do that. So I do have that self-confidence. So because it stems from the hard skill, I do believe that it goes in that category as well. So being a hard skill rather than a soft skill. And how you can gain self-confidence. Yeah, I guess the way, let me think about this. So self-confidence. I think it's about truly believing that what you're trying to pursue, what you're desiring to achieve, to accomplish, is really worth it. Because it's not worth it, you are less likely to take risks.
Yeah. I was thinking about self-confidence, and there is this battle: is it or it is not a soft skill? But if you notice it in everyday life, it's more like the lack of self-confidence. It's more like a little bit a lack of courage, let's say. Because let's say we are in a group, we are brainstorming, we are having ideas, even though I have a very good idea in my head. Because I'm not self-confident, I don't have the courage to say it out loud. I'm like, oh, maybe someone else will say it, or maybe if I say it, they're all going to laugh, it's going to be terrible, and I make this process in my head, which is useless. And it's about that. And for me, me and Ele were discussing about it, and I think it all takes like it starts with the first step, and be like, because once I'm risking it once, and actually take this kind of mindset, like if I do it wrong, it's okay, it's okay to make mistakes, it's not the end of the world, unless you're working for NASA or something. If you're working for NASA, don't do mistakes, do everything properly. But it's and take the courage to do the first step, and from there is going to get easier and easier, because you get used to showing yourself, you get used of, okay, it is what it is, I'm offering all I can do best. And what about you? What do you think, Ellen?
Well, my opinion about self-confidence. I have my self-confidence like minus 25. I don't know even how much. Because in Greek, self-confidence means αυτοπεποίθηση, which means αυτό itself means self, and πεποίθηση comes from pitho, which means to believe something. So for me, self-confidence is to believe something that I'm not. So that's why I don't believe that I like self-confidence, but it still is a soft skill for me also, that I don't believe it, but it is a soft skill. But for some people like me, if we take 4 steps ahead, because we have not self-confidence but self-control, maybe we take 4 steps, maybe we're going to fall 10 steps again, but because we have the self-control, we can go back again to the top or higher. That's my opinion about the self-confidence. I'm not a psychologist. I'm going to psychology, but I'm not.
Thank you. That would actually be a nice topic maybe for a future podcast, to be like self-confidence versus like self-control, and see like who wins, like rap battle or something.
Rap battle story.
We are slowly going towards not slowly, like in a few minutes, we're going to the end of our podcast today. So Ele, would you like to give a spoiler for the next podcast maybe?
The next spoiler, nice. The next meeting is going to be very snowy, very ho ho ho. We're going to talk about traditions around Europe. We're going to have some very beautiful guests, so I'm not going to be here. We're going to talk about Christmas.
About Christmas.
It's going to be it's going to be at 21st, I think.
21st, yes.
Yes, 21st of December. So I mean, if we don't speak about Christmas on the 1st of December, we're not going to talk about
I see that Sebastian already has the Christmas sweater on, so
Yeah, so you don't
already prepare for that. You will
How
see.
nice.
You'll see our Christmas sweaters next time. And with that, thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for responding to the invitation and for this really, really nice discussion. And I hope to see you soon, and we will keep in touch, of course. And with you from home, we will wait for you to join us in our next podcast. Have a nice evening.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Let's play the intro, or no? We're going to play the intro again. Sorry, guys. Francisco says, please.
Oh, Francisco, is super excited for our intro. You would be the first.
Iago is dubbing. So give us 1 second to find it.
By the way, the audio for the intro is made by yours truly. Very the voice here.
So thank you guys once again. So I have to remove everyone. So we have to play the intro plus outro plus soft skill, but plus
Yes.
hard skill plus everything. So a tutte. Bye.
Bye, ciao. La rivedere.
Arrivederci.
It's in Romanian.
Sorry. So, share screen. Παράθυρο εφαρμογής, ταινίες και τηλεόραση, κοινοποίηση. Ταράν.
Sì.
La 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 la.